Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWF Smackdown December 20th, 2001 Retro Review. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode was actually quite interesting. I actually enjoyed myself watching it. There was a nice storyline development going on here throughout the show for December of 2001, especially with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Booker T, which eventually led to Booker T getting a signed contract by the WWF and getting pretty much ordered to face Stone Cold Steve Austin in the main event in a first blood match, which most people probably would have thought that Booker T didn't have a shot in hell. There's always a chance and an opportunity, and Booker T actually did accomplish that in the main event. He walked away with getting the victory thanks to bloodying up Stone Cold Steve Austin's skull and making him bleed. And that was the main event on that match. Overall, the rest of the show was pretty self-standard wrestling. Nothing too, extraordinary, but pretty exciting and a very good star-studded match card, to say the least. First match we had was the WWF Intercontinental Championship, Edge being the champion going in against Kurt Angle. He wins by disqualification thanks to William Regal's interference. Match was kind of short, kind of sucked that it was short, but nonetheless, that was the end result. Lance Storm went up against Rikishi and won this match in 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Nothing extraordinary about this one. I actually skipped it, so I didn't really care. The WWF Hardcore Championship belt was on the line. Undertaker going in as the champion, going up against Matt Hardy. And as you probably would guess, Matt Hardy loses to The Undertaker in 5 minutes. So, pretty devastating beat down by The Undertaker. And pretty insane shit. Next match after that, The Rock versus Test, 1-on-1. Decent match, very groundbreaking match for Test to be able to compete against a superstar like The Rock himself. Fortunately, in his case, he got rock bottom straight to hell, and The Rock picked up the victory 1-2-3. That match lasted almost 6 minutes. Next match after that was the WWF Undisputed Championship belt with Chris Jericho defending both titles against The Big Show. This match was randomly put together by Ric Flair himself because Chris Jericho ended up going on Smackdown bitching and complaining about how he's been defending the title, how Ric Flair has been treating him, and Ric Flair pretty much came out and said this: you want to bitch and complain, you're going to have another title defense against The Big Show. Well, Chris Jericho was fortunate enough to walk away still the Undisputed Champion by hitting him with one of the Undisputed titles across Big Show's head without the referee seeing it and picking up the pinfall 1-2-3. Decent match, but nothing really to cry home about. And as I already said, Booker T picks up the victory by hitting Steve Austin straight in the skull with a chair and ending him up. Gotta speak proper English here. What the fuck's wrong with me? Anyway, pretty much ends up bleeding all over the place. The referee was kind of knocked out and got a little help and assistance, and ended up being the one bleeding all over the place and losing the match to Booker T, which is actually quite interesting because funny thing about this, Austin been in plenty of First Blood matches, and I think only one of them he actually won. Outside of that, every other match he's ever been in for a First Blood match, he has lost. But, with all that being said, this episode was pretty decent, pretty entertaining, and a star-studded card. Nothing too big happened here, but nothing too bad happened here. It was a decent Smackdown episode, and I hope to God that tonight's Smackdown, modern-day Smackdown of 2016, actually turns out to be well worth everybody's time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back with another episode of Retro Reviews for WWF Raw is War, April 19th, 1999. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again soon.